and the visiting Leicester Riders. Yes, a good evening from me, Mark Woods, and the hosts coming here very much on a roll. 5 consecutive victories and a 6th would move them up into a season's best position of 4th in the championship standings. An astonishing rise under Vincent Lavandier, who's lost only once since taking over. This, though, he says, is their toughest test of that run. Good defence, he says, is the key for the game. Leicester, of course, holding opponents to just 39% from the field, best in the BBL, and the Frenchman looking for his team for good ball movement this evening and good shot selection if they want to keep their current uptick on the move. As for visiting Leicester, 3rd in the standings, but needing a lift here, have lost 3 out of their last 4 in what's probably been a fatal blow to their hopes of defending their BBL title. A pretty poor display by their standards on Friday night, beaten at home by 15 points to Cheshire Phoenix. Coach Rob Paternoster, though, telling me still happy with his team's defence. It's offence that's been their problem over the last while, shooting just 40% from the field over their last 5 games. Improvements there, he feels, can be made, and of course we know what a good team they can be. Possibly, though, in his words, fatigue a factor as they get to the end of the longest season that they've ever had, with, of course, all those European games at the outset to go with those on the domestic front. So a crucial game in terms of playoff seeding, as well, as we head towards the end of the championship campaign. Just a month left, and that league title may be heading towards London Lions, but those playoff places, certainly from 4 through to 8, still very much up for debate. Now, your starting lineup this evening for the Glasgow Rocks. It is the same backcourt as it's been during this run, of Greg Pryor alongside Kenny Carpenter. And that front court today, the strong front line of Gareth Murray, Bo Ziegler, who's been a revelation of late, and Kieran Achara. As for the visiting Leicester Riders, well, a shake-up in their backcourt this evening. Brandon Clark and Kiefer Douse coming in as their 2 guards. Jamel Anderson, Tim Williams, and J.R. Holder, the front line. Holder, the only remaining starter from in Leicester, lost 101-81 here back in the previous meeting between these 2 teams this season. Glasgow thus with a chance to clinch the head-to-head series this evening. Now, the Rocks tonight will be playing in blue, coming on court now. Leicester, the visitors, in red. Your 3 officials here this evening: Chris Dodds, Tom Murraman, and Josh Bowe. And what a tough schedule it's been for Glasgow over the last week or so. It's been one game after another. This a 4th game in 8 days. But they are very much the BBL's in-form team at present. Big Mother's Day crowds at the Emirates Arena. It is Glasgow Rocks against the Leicester Riders in the BBL Championship. From the tip, the first possession falls into the hands of Kieran Achara. Gives it up to Greg Pryor. Murray on the wing. And this is the ball movement. It's been Lavandier's hallmark strategy. 3 in the shot clock. Carpenter with the floater. First score of the game in favour of Glasgow. Brandon Clark, of course, returning to the Riders mid-season. Averaging 11 points per game. Now into the starting lineup here. Holder through the middle, gets the Riders on the board. It's quite a change, Leicester lineup, from that big loss here early in the season. Connor Washington, who will come off the bench tonight, didn't play in that game due to injury. Of course, Brandon Clark yet to arrive. Deep shot from Carpenter. Fall short, will be a Riders ball on the end line. Friday night display against Cheshire. Highly disappointing for Leicester. 25 points the Phoenix got from 18 turnovers. Loop shot inside with a cut from Jamal Anderson. First lead for Leicester. You know, tonight certainly need to cut out those errors. Pryor. Carpenter. Foul drawn as he went inside. First foul of this game goes against Jamal Anderson. A sideline ball, Murray, the inbounder. Ziegler. Chara thought about the three, eventually decides to take the three. And although the shot does not go, he will go to the line.
Chara will be at the line for the Locks for three throws at the line.
Chara shooting 83% from the foul strip this season. His final season, of course. His final 6 weeks as a professional basketball player. 7th season with Glasgow Rocks. Cool as you like. Draws us level. Can he put the Rocks ahead? That's attempt number 3. Yes, indeed. Holder guarded by Murray. Murray gets through the screen. Clark. Carpenter his way. Holder spills it. Just regathers. Twisting and turning. Ziegler in his way. Eventually drew the foul. Aggressive defense there. Rocks have been very good of late. It's the defensive scheme just clogging the lane, not allowing teams to get easy drives into the basket. No one shooting foul there. Comes out to Anderson. Clark, long 2, downs it. The lead changes hands again, as you'd expect between two teams. Tactically astute, feeling each other out here early on. Char with a fake, long 2, won't fall. Clark with a board. Douse slashes inside, kick out. Holder for 3. Holder with 5 points. 4-point advantage for Leicester. Defensive foul, call against Achara. I think it's fair to say from that body language, not best pleased at the call.
Foul call goes against the Locks. Riders ball. 7 minutes and 1 second of the first quarter clock. Riders 9, Rocks 5. Locks on the defense.
Douse. To Clark. Anderson, guarded by Murray. Hook shot doesn't fall. Into the hands of Pryor, finally cross court. Ziegler. Wild kick to Carpenter in the corner for the 3. 5 points for Carpenter. Saws the lead to 1. Holder. Ziegler in his way, forces the step back short in that attempt. Williams knocks it in. Williams shot very poorly Friday night, just 3 of 11 from the field against Cheshire. And then 3 made. As Achara charges into the middle, gets it. Judged a foul from Greg Pryor. Pierre Hampton will check in for Leicester in place of Jamal Anderson. Hampton, you see those knees strapped up, but not just one of many injuries for the Swede this season. Battling through it very admirably. Now in the post, immediately in the action, gets under Ziegler. Foul called. Second foul against Bo Ziegler. Immediately goes to the bench and is replaced by Buna Njai. He's been the spark plug in reserve in recent weeks. Hampton to the line for 2 attempts. Makes the first. Turned 28 last week. 2 of 2. Full court pressure coming from Leicester. Carpenter harangued by Kiefer Douse. And first chance to impress. Give and go with the Chara. Try to get it back to him. Lane wasn't there. Murray. Corner pass. Pryor from the corner. Won't fall into the hands of Clark. Holder. Kick out Clark. Was open, thought about it. Kick out instead. Williams through the middle off the glass. Tim Williams, 4th point of the game. Halfway through the first. Leicester's advantage at 5. Oh, what a beautiful passing sequence. Frees up Carpenter once again in the corner. It's just that awareness from Achara, the simplicity of it all. Douse try to get it to Hampton, doesn't get it. No, Carpenter on the break. Stuffs it in. We are level. Carpenter, game high 7 points. Not the kind of turnover which plagued the Riders 2 nights ago. Douse. And after Clark. Just drew the foul. Second foul goes against Greg Pryor, who is replaced, as is Kieran Achara, into the game tonight for the first time for Glasgow. Johnny Bunyan and Ali Fraser, and for Leicester. First minutes this evening for Josh Ward-Hibbett and Andy Thompson. Clark's first is good. Second and not so much. Leicester's lead restored though. Connor Washington also went for Leicester. Carpenter with a hot hand here in the first quarter. 3 of 4 from 3-point range. The Rocks back in front. Clark from way out, way in. Brandon Clark. 6 points in the game. Advantage Leicester once more. Stripped away by Andy Thompson. Connor Washington. Pass intended for Pierre Hampton. Carpenter sits down to a round of applause. First minutes on the court tonight for Glasgow for Tadas Rinkunas. He's been playing so well, now leads the whole league in field goal percentage. Birthday weekend for the Lithuanian, 28 years of age yesterday. Spin move from Fraser off the glass, makes it. Rima Lascelles also checking in for Leicester there as Washington comes up short from 3-point range. Kunis knocked it away. Lascelles. Low pass inside, finds Hampton. Took his time, knocks it in. Cool as you like. 4 points for Pierre Hampton. Murray, wide open from deep, buries it. First score for Gareth Murray. Feed inside, Andy Thompson on the charge. Levels us up at 23 apiece. Five lead changes in this first quarter. Fraser can't put it in, but Hampton with the last touch as the ball rolled out of his hands despairingly. Bunyan will inbound. Kunis in the corner. Fraser was open from the elbow, instead gives it back to the Lithuanian. He fumbled it as he drove inside. That position, certainly very effective. You think back to last Sunday's comprehensive victory over London City Royals here. Kunis, absolute revelation offensively then. Hampton. Njai felt he'd got the block, just got the contact. Kind of a smile about it. Picks up his first foul of the game. And Rocks in the bonus. So back to the line once more goes Pierre Hampton. Four of 4 from the foul line so far. Riders back ahead. Less than a minute to play in the first. Kunis. Hand off to Njai. Guarded by Hampton. Scanned it, clash. Murray from the corner. Won't quite go. Thompson. Hand off to Ward Hibbert. Thompson, that spin move. Under pressure from Fraser, go back out to Hampton. 5 on the clock, he'll need to make this fast. Floater and Kunis stands tall. Thompson is open. 4 seconds left in the first quarter. Drive from Washington. Doesn't go. And what an entertaining first quarter it's been. A game high 13 points for Kenny Carpenter for Glasgow. Leicester led by 6 apiece from Pierre Hampton and Brandon Clark at the end of one here. It's Leicester Riders leading Glasgow Rocks 25-23. Second quarter underway here at the Emirates Arena. And it is the Glasgow Rocks trailing the visiting Leicester Riders 25-23. Riders first offense. Tim Williams with a step back short in that attempt. Both teams shooting very well in the first quarter. Leicester 64% from the field, Glasgow 61%. Fraser with a reverse off the glass. 4 points for him. Brings us level once more. 6 lead changes in that first period of test. It's just how competitive a game this is, as we expected it. Washington 4 in the shot clock. Box out. Long attempt from Rima Lascelles. Just off the mark. Njai. Murray waits with the screen. Njai takes the opportunity, drives in. Ball and gravity not his friend there. Washington. Well, a bit ragged that. Rock's advantage. Hand off from Fraser to Rinkunas. Rocks ahead once more. Great cut from Andy Thompson. Levels us up at 27 apiece. Screen set by Fraser. Nice give and go. Fraser once again. 6 points for Ali Fraser. He's very much been interchangeable lately with Kieran Ochado. One starts, one comes off the bench. Long three from Josh Wood-Hibbett. Leicester back in front. Hibbett shooting over 50% from three-point range this term. Increasingly as the season's gone on, made himself at home in the BBL. Rinkunas also, long three. Give and go there, sets up, charge through the middle. And Tim Williams, level we are once again. Bullet pass into Fraser. Nearly made it. Was off balance. Nice awareness there from Tim Williams to draw the foul as he came under pressure. 2 shots for Williams from the line to come. Bunyan takes the foul. Gareth Murray sitting down for Glasgow. Kieran Achara returning to the fray. Brandon Clark, J.R. Holder were checking in for the Leicester Riders, but a timeout is called by Glasgow Rocks. And elsewhere this afternoon, 2 games already completed in the BBL today. And London Lions stretching their lead at the top of the BBL Championship with a 96-83 victory at Surrey Scorchers today. The Lions edging ever closer to that first ever BBL title. That's sending them 4 points clear at the top of the table ahead of Newcastle. And down at the Pavilions, a big win in terms of playoff standings for Manchester Giants, a 98-90 win at Plymouth Raiders this afternoon. Those 2 teams now level on 24 points Raiders 12 and 14, Manchester 12 and 15, so that 8th place cut-off really going to the wire this season. And of course, elsewhere, results this weekend. Last night, Newcastle Eagles perhaps trying to chase 2nd place ahead of the Leicester now. Getting a very important 97-90 win down at Crystal Palace against London City Royals. And the Royals coming off a 77-73 win against the Lions on Friday. The other 2 games that night, Sheffield beating Bristol by 20. And Newcastle sneaking a 3-point win down at Worcester. So all to play for. Very exciting conclusion to the BBL Championship season coming up. Williams solid from the line. 2 of 2. Lead change once again. Williams with 8 points to lead Leicester now. Bunyan is open, has time, has space, and has accuracy. Johnny Bunyan, the 2nd half of the season. A different character from the 1st half. Playing with a lot of confidence, shooting with a lot of confidence. Kunis just clipped Holder as he went round there. Picks up his 1st foul. As Pierre Hampton checks in place of Andy Thompson. One other game about to get underway in the BBL Championship today. Cheshire Phoenix hosting Bristol Flowers. As Clark downs the jumper. Lead change once again. Kunis, long 2, scramble underneath. In the hands of Fraser. Couldn't get the putback, does draw the foul. There's a shooting foul. 1st foul going against Reem Lascelles. The Rocks on Friday, after winning in Manchester on Thursday night, were given their 1st day off in almost 2 weeks. Except for Ali Fraser, had to give a presentation at university that day. And then went to his university ball where he picked up an award. So no rest for the wicked. No worries from the foul line though. 8 points for Fraser. What a pass inside, Clark to Williams. Bunyan into traffic and gets it, and will go to the line. Foul against Brandon Clark, picks up his 1st. Kenny Carpenter replacing Buna Njai for Glasgow. As Johnny Bunyan goes to the line, where he almost never misses, 90% free throw shooter. Opportunity for the 3-point play. Unlikely to miss, does not miss. 6 points in this game for Johnny Bunyan. Rocks back up by 2. Clark loses it under some pressure. Kunis. The Carpenter in the wing. Through inside to Achara. Bullies his way in there. Picked up the foul. Lascelles' 2nd foul of the contest.
There's going to be 2 shots at the line for the Rocks. Riders with the foul against the Rocks. And that brings it Chara
to the foul line. Substitution as Lascelles is replaced by Connor Washington. Chara 3 for 3 from the foul strip this afternoon. And now 4 for 4. 10 years since his professional debut at Fortitudo Bologna. Catch him while he can, folks, because he's going soon, and the game's going to miss him. 2 of 2 there. 7 points for Achara. Biggest lead of the game for Glasgow. Low pass to Williams with the reverse. Williams, 12 points in this game now. Slash inside from Rinkunis. 3 or 4 shooting from the field. Foul drawn. And a timeout has been called by Leicester Riders. Of course, with the league title race nearing its conclusion, talk will soon turn to this season's playoff finals. Sunday the 19th of May at the O2 Arena in London. Both the BBL playoff final and the WBBL playoff final on one fantastic day of basketball. If you want to make sure you've got a great seat to see the season reach its conclusion, head online now to bbl.org.uk/2019 playoff and get your tickets bright and early. And of course, the 3rd edition of the British Basketball All-Stars Championship already confirmed for 2019. Sunday, the 13th of October at the Copper Box Arena in London is when it's happening. You go to allstarsbasketball.co.uk for all the details of how to get your tickets for what is a fantastic day in the basketball calendar. 3:58 left to play in the second period. J.R. Holder heading to the line. Makes the first. And number 2 as well. Holder with 7 points. Full court pressure here coming from the Leicester Riders. Bunyan for 3. That time doesn't fall. Blocking foul called against Kieran Achara. Tried to take the charge. Second foul. You imagine neither of these teams will be particularly happy, or certainly their coaches won't be, with defense here in this first half. Two teams that would really not want to be giving up 40 plus points with almost 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Leicester hold teams to under 40% from the field. They tend to do pretty well. Rocks, though, shooting 44%, or sorry, pardon me, shooting 65% from the field thus far. As Clark misses as he slashes inside. Leicester shooting 68%. Good shots and good looks. Fraser passes up, that look, opts to come inside, off the glass. That spin move with his left hand works so well for him all year. 10 points for Ali Fraser off the bench. 3 to play in the second. Clark, stutter step, feed. Williams, cool as you like. Tim Williams, game high 14 points. Rocks yet to find an answer for the American under the basket. Averaging 16 points per game and 6 rebounds. Terrific mid-season addition. Andy Thompson replacing Pierre Hampton for Leicester. Bunyan gets it across to Kunis. Open shot from Carpenter. Carpenter, 16 points now. 4 of 5 from three-point range. Bunyan short gets his own rebound. Carpenter, another shot, another chance, another make. Kenny Carpenter, 19 points, consecutive threes. Biggest lead of the game, Leicester Riders. Call a timeout. Carpenter really transformed under Vincent Levandier. Struggling offensively that first half of the season. Only shooting 26% from three-point range over the whole campaign, but that tweaks and changes to the offense, just creating more open shots, more easy shots. Both him and Greg Pryor finding life much simpler. The Rocks this afternoon, 8 of 15 from deep. A big reason why they're stretching their lead. Leicester's issue over the last 4 or 5 games has been making shots. Today it's been stopping them. In that huddle there, Paternoster and his assistant Pablo Vasquez. I suspect he'll have been telling his men, close out the shooters with more due care than they've had of late. Just over 2 minutes to play here, and what's been a very entertaining first half. Clark. Oh, man, out of rims, kept it back. Here he has it again. Williams sets a screen. Carpenter feeds it to him. Nowhere to go, Clark. Floater won't go under pressure, Achara. You're not wrestling that out of his hands. Stumble from Carpenter. Clark on the break. Holder. Floater doesn't go. Holder somehow got it back. Scramble on the floor. Fraser, long pass to Kunis. Thompson in his way. Solid D there to regroup from Leicester. See how that fouls against as Holder's bundled over. Against Ali Fraser, picks up his first foul. There's the one thing with the Rocks' new aggressive defensive style, are giving away a lot of fouls. And the bonus, Holder steadies, makes. 3 of 3 from the foul line today is J.R. Holder. Second season at Leicester. That one doesn't go. Carpenter accelerated there. Drew the foul. 2 shots to come. Makes that. Number 2 as well. 21 points in this first half alone for Kenny Carpenter. One minute left of this first half as Clark drives inside. Riders will want a little bit of momentum to come back their way as they head to the locker rooms. Chara guarded by Thompson. Many times have we seen that matchup over the last decade. Clark, the pull up 3, makes it! Brandon Clark, 11 points in the contest. Suddenly, the deficit down to 4. Shot clock is off. Bunyan steadies. Fraser waits with the screen. Hand off, Carpenter has room, lays it in. Half court shot from Clark, nearly, but not quite. And a first half really that's gone back and forth. 10 lead changes in Hull. And the Rocks led by a game high 21 points from Kenny Carpenter. 14 points, a team high for Team Williams for Leicester Riders at the halftime here in the Emirates Arena in the BBL Championship. It is the Glasgow Rocks with a 56-50 lead over the Leicester Riders. We'll be back soon with the second half. And a warm welcome back to the Emirates Arena on this Sunday afternoon. It's Mark Woods with you. It's BBL Championship action, and it is the Radisson Red Glasgow Rocks with a 56-50 lead over the visiting Leicester Riders. The big factor in this game so far, Kenny Carpenter, game high 23 points on 5 of 6 shooting. And speaking to the Leicester Riders captain Andy Thompson during the break, he said the biggest thing is to keep the Rocks off the 3-point line. 8 of 15 from deep thus far. The house said they must tighten up their defense. The Rocks shooting the ball very well, spreading the floor, so they must be much more aggressive out in the perimeter defensively. Of course, Leicester not used to giving up this many points in one half. As for Glasgow, well, little change in their strategy, unsurprisingly. Johnny Bunyan saying to me, a lot of it, what Vincent Lavandier was saying in the locker room was about keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you get more stops, and particularly keep on top of Brandon Clark, who's been really able to slash to the basket too much for their liking. 13 points he has thus far. Will they feel it in the second half? If they keep him quiet, they can keep the Riders at bay. One other game currently going on halfway through the second quarter. Bristol 32-17 up against Cheshire. Third quarter here is underway. Greg Pryor harassed by Brandon Clark. Pryor boxed in the corner. They get out to Fraser. Tadas Rinkunas starting the second half for Glasgow. Loses it there. Does Murray. Gerald Holder. Kiefer Dowse. Gives it to Williams in the post. Fraser in his way. The handoff to Clark. Well, defensive stand. A wall put up there by Greg Pryor and Ali Fraser. I think from that discussion on court are disputing whether it is in fact a Leicester ball. And indeed it isn't. It did look as if Clark got the last touch as it went out. The remarkable thing from a Glasgow perspective, they've put 56 points on the board in the first quarter. None of Buna Njai, Greg Pryor or Bo Ziegler have got a single point between them. Rinkunas. Offensive foul called. That's Tim Williams, pardon me. Gets the thanks of his teammates. Glasgow's biggest lead stood at 9. Leicester's at 5. J.R. Holder shortened that attempt. Ball into the hands of Greg Pryor. Low pass to Fraser, somehow gets it to Ziegler, gets his first score. Tumble out of bounds there. That looked painful. Just checking if he's okay. Tim Williams picks himself up. Nice round of applause from the home fans. Scored into the bench by Pablo Vasquez. Andy Thompson checking back in. First ball on the end line. Shot clock expired. Holder had to get it off. The judge a shot clock violation, of course, didn't touch the rim. Stripped away. Riders on the break. Spin move from Dowse. The scoop doesn't go. Foul drawn. Third foul against Greg Pryor. Dowse will go to the line. First trip of the game. Leicester 10 of 12 from the foul strip, now 10 of 13. Misses the second as well. Pryor drew the foul as he went in. Foul against Kiefer Dowse. Picks up his first. Pryor. First trip of the evening. Shooting 68%. Scored 19 points in that previous win over Leicester here earlier in the season. But much improved as a player over the second half of the campaign. His first point of the game there, 1 of 2. Can he make it more? Yes, he does! 3-pointer for Pryor. Extends the Rocks cushion. Leicester with some work to do now. Brandon Clark. Boxed into the corner by Bo Ziegler. Handout. Long two from Andy Thompson. Rocks regather though. Jump ball is called. Possession now in favour of Leicester Riders, for whom Connor Washington will check in place of Kiefer Dowse. This is now Washington's 7th season with the Riders. Up at mid-court there. It took some time overseas last season with the Danish team. Nisved, back where many think he belongs. Pierre Hampton also returning for Leicester. Clark harangued by Tadas Rinkunas. Back out to Hampton. 10 ticks in the shot clock. Ziegler and Hampton's way. 3. If the Rocks wanted more stops, that's the way to do it. Eventually. Foul was committed. An offensive foul, a second one against Brandon Clark. McInnes goes to Murray, opts for the immediate shot. Maybe he wishes he hadn't. You can look at some of the 3 losses that Leicester have suffered lately. Chances that went missing. The Royals the other night, or Cheshire the other night, didn't play very well. The Royals losing by 4. Before that, Manchester by 2. 10 free throws went begging in that game. Small margins. As Hampton knocks it in, the floater from downtown. And of course, they will reflect those couple of losses that London Lions have suffered the past week. If those 3 recent defeats out of 4 had been even 3 victories out of 4, the title race would be a very much tighter proposition now. Ifs and buts and maybes. Clark, kick out to the corner. Washington eschews the 3. Drove into Rinkunas. And that, a heck of a hustle play by the Lithuanian. With a possession arrow in favour of Glasgow. It will be a Rocks ball. Brandon Clark sits down. Joe Schwartz-Hibbert, the man, in his way. Fraser backs down Holder. 4 Leicester players around him. And yet he comes up with the foul. First foul against J.R. Holder. 2 of 2 from the foul line to this point for Ali Fraser. Now with 11 points. This is the second. Lead at 11. 5 minutes left in this third period on this Mothering Sunday. Hampton takes it inside. Takes his own tally into double figures. Pryor with a step back. Falls short. Alert to the second chance getter in Kunis, who gives it in tandem to Fraser. Pryor once again. The immovable beast that is Andy Thompson. Rinkunas, shot clock at 3, scoops it in, Tadas Rinkunas. Rocks lead back into double figures. All that experience at the top levels in Europe. Lithuania and Spain. First foul. Committed by Gareth Murray as Greg Pryor is replaced by Johnny Bunyan. Washington matched up against Bunyan, eludes him. And once again, Rocks defense standing firm. Murray, screen from Ziegler, gives him room. Won't go. J.R. Holder. Nice patience there. Twist in the paint. He's got 10 points. Rocks lead at 9. Kunis, the lob pass intended for Ziegler. Under the basket, draws the foul.
Basket good for the Rocks. Draws the fouls of the Riders. And Ziegler looking at the line for 1. Ziegler at the line.
That offense really caused by the movement of Rinkunas, who cut all the way from strong side to weak. 2 defenders with him. Able to make things happen with that movement off the ball. Ziegler will now get a chance to finish the 3-point play and extend Glasgow's lead once again. As he does, Ziegler with 5 points in the game. Rocks up by 12, 3 to play in the third. And another possession slipping through the fingers of Leicester Riders. Buna Njai. I think a 3-second call.
Key violation goes against the Rocks, which means possession will fall to the Riders now. With 2 minutes 39 of the clock, possession to the Riders. On the defense,
Holder. Give and go. And out of bounds. Intended for Tim Williams. Just a small lack of sharpness from Leicester here this afternoon. Turnovers for the Riders, 10 for Glasgow. And there's another, evens that up. Lord Hibbert. Nice feed to Tim Williams. He's got a team high 16 points for Leicester. Bunyan backs down Josh Ward Hibbert. Carpenter. Njai. Bunyan waits. 3 in the shot clock, drives through the middle. Lob pass to Ziegler. Floater from Washington won't go. Calls for Carpenter. Carpenter won't fall. 23 points. 21 of those in the first half. Cooled off considerably in the second, but no matter. Chara with the last touch as he intercepted that pass intended for Pierre Hampton. Lascelles and Brandon Clark return for Leicester. Less than a minute left now in the third. Clark, catch and shoot. Won't go. Hampton with the board. Fouled as he went up by Kenny Carpenter. Picks up his first foul. Hampton. Third season at Leicester Riders. Toughest of the three, no doubt, for the man from Arebru. First shot off target, second, no better. Rebound picked up by Ward Hibbert though. Clark. Feed inside, what a feed, what a finish by Tim Williams. Williams, 18 points now. 10 points the difference. Can Leicester get it to single figures by the end of this period? Or will the Rocks extend again? Bunyan to Ziegler. Swing past to Njai, yet to score. 3 in the shot clock, you'll have to take it. Short. Hampton eventually got it. Shot clock is off. They hold for the last possession, do the Riders. Clark guarded by Bunyan. Feet underneath, not quite accurate enough. Achara gets it. The heave, the hoe. Nearly, but not quite. And the Rocks extending their lead. They win the third period 14-10. At the end of 3 here at the Emirates Arena, it's Glasgow Rocks leading Leicester Riders 70-60. Finals, which promised to be a brilliant day out. One game elsewhere, ongoing in the BBL Championship this afternoon. Bristol Flowers still scraping and scrambling to get it back into that top 8, leading Cheshire Phoenix 43-33 at the half down at the Oaks Arena. Justin Gray with the team by 10 points for the Flyers. But here, Leicester with it all to do. They trail Glasgow by 10 as we enter this fourth quarter. Kenny Carpenter leading Glasgow still with 23 points. Tim Williams at 18 for the Riders. Both these teams shooting incredibly well today. 57% from the field for Glasgow, 54 for Leicester. The difference though, 3-point shots. The Rocks 9 of 17 from 3-point range. The Riders 4 of 10. And apart from that, very little to choose between these two. And of course a win, I'll remind you, for the Glasgow Rocks today would move them into the BBL's top 4. Something that you have to say would have seemed very improbable just a month ago. Things can change so quickly. Things can change so quickly as we approach the end of the BBL Championship campaign. The officials just trying to fix the clock up above us before we can get underway. Those other 2 games in the BBL today, London Lions extending their lead at the top of the table to 4 points over Newcastle, a 96-83 win at Surrey Scorchers, and Manchester Giants keeping their playoff hopes on track with a 98-90 win at Plymouth Raiders. Underway we finally are at the start of the fourth. Leicester need a run, and they need it quickly. Brandon Clark, the fake, pops through the middle, tries to get at Hampton. Stumbles as he went in. Foul is called though. End-line ball. One other piece of news in the BBL just coming in this afternoon. Worcester Wolves are parted company with their captain Adam Thosby. The club says asked to leave and has been released with immediate effect. Clark zips around. Double team pushed in the corner. Ward Hibbert. Spin move, nowhere to go. Under pressure. Doesn't go there. Rocks defensively today. All energy and all hustle. And another terrific game off the bench for Johnny Bunyan. Confidence in himself and confidence in his coach at the moment. 4 on the shot clock. Thrown out of bounds. Leicester ball. Towards Bunyan. One of only 2 players with 8 seasons of duty for Glasgow Rocks. Gareth Murray with 11, the leader. Him and Sterling Davis, for his former player coach, on 8 seasons apiece. The finish there from Tim Williams. A couple of years ago, since Johnny Bunyan moved ahead of his brother Keith. They had those 6 seasons in the first 6 seasons of the Rocks' existence. This is their 20th anniversary campaign. And while it didn't start that well in league terms, finishing very well. 1 in the shot clock. Carpenter doesn't go. That's called as a Rocks ball on the end line. As Bunyan sits down, replaced by Greg Pryor. Pryor immediately the ball in his hands, inbounds. Njai. 10 in the shot clock. Intercepted. Hampton on the break. Riders have numbers. Glasgow have Kieran Achara. Lord Hibbert gets up, thankfully. Seems okay. Achara knocking the ball out of bounds, though. Will be a Leicester ball. Swat from Achara. Leicester still have it. Ward Hibbert on the floor. Jump ball is called. Possession arrow in favour of Glasgow, though. Hustle from both teams applauded. Pryor opts for the jumper on the elbow. Does it get it? Yes, he does. A roll favourable for Greg Pryor. 6 points in the game. Clark somehow got that pass off to Tim Williams, who gets fouled as he goes up. There's a judge as a shooting foul, as Rinkunas picks up his 3rd foul of this game. Pardon me, Bo Ziegler picks up his 3rd foul. And Connor Washington replacing Josh Ward Hibbert. And J.R. Holder also checks in. Brandon Clark makes way. Williams at the line. His first miss of the day from the foul strip. Hasn't missed much. 9 of 10 from the field. Now 2 of 3 from the foul strip. 2 of 4 now. Gets it to Carpenter. Ziegler with a screen, slash to the middle. Achara from the corner makes it. Kieran Achara takes his tally to 9. Quiet day, but effective. 7 minutes to go. Riders need a run. Williams, not sure what that was. Rocks on the run. Njai. Feeds a Chara, looks for the cut. What a play. Doesn't quite get in, though. Ziegler with the save. His teammates weren't really watching him there. The presumption was that was going out of bounds. Good work from Bo Ziegler. To no avail. Hampton in the post. Njai. And the technical foul is given. I think that will be for flopping. Can't quite see the call from this angle. Foul given against Buna Njai. His second foul. Someone's seen him called a bit more this season, must be said. As Tanis Rinkunis checks back in for Glasgow in place of Kenny Carpenter. Connor Washington will go to the line. Julie converts. Will be Leicester possession, of course. Holder. To Jamel Anderson. Chara towering in the middle. Thompson 3 in the shot clock. And eventually gets into the hands of J.R. Holder, who drops it in. 12 points for J.R. Holder. 9 points the gap, 6 minutes to play. Dropped in by Buna Njai. His first score. Timeout is called by Leicester Riders, who trail by 11 points. Well, the Rocks certainly will feel good about their chances if they hold on to this one. And a fairly decent run in, it has to be said. One more game they must face against the Riders down at the Morningside Arena. One game against Sheffield Sharks. But that's all they have against teams at the upper end of the table. But that big game against the Sharks taking place this Wednesday evening, and potentially huge implications in the race for 4th place on that one. And Leicester not with a bad run in either. They host the London City Royals on Friday evening. But that their only game left against the current top 4, except for that last day visit from the London Lions. You have to look at chances that have been lost over the last 2 weeks, maybe to make a late run to catch the Londoners. Probably the last day meeting will come too late and make any difference. 5:53 left in the 4th here. Andy Thompson with the long 3. 8 points the gap. Pryor. Also by Connor Washington. Chara with the screen. Force the switch. Murray in the corner. Njai. Tough as you like. Foul is given. Shooting foul. Send Njai to the line. Second foul against Jamel Anderson. Njai, a 60% free throw shooter on the season. Gets the line 3 times a night. So if he could just improve that a little more, his average would go up a huge amount more. Second goes missing as well. Washington from deep. Rocks players got in each other's way there. Thompson for 3, won't go. Chara with a save, tumbles out of bounds. Gets up. All safe, all secure. Murray, the playmaker. Movement comes from Kunis. Well, that might have been one. And he'd like to take back Greg Pryor. Less than 5 minutes to go now. Hugely entertaining game this afternoon in the BBL Championship. Holder, lob pass to Thompson, two in his way. Another turnover. Then Kunis accelerates and gets the score. Tadas Kunis, 11 points now. Murray fouled Connor Washington as he drove in. Perhaps a needless foul in that case. Second foul against Gareth Murray as Tim Williams and Brandon Clark check back in. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Williams. Hand off to Holder. Thompson. Back and forth they go. Holder, 6 in the shot clock. Holder lobs over the basket, almost got his own rebound, does get it. Let's see what the call is. Referee Chris Dodd's going over to the table. Chatting to Vincent Lavandier just to say hold on a second. See what the adjustment is. Just talking it over. Just had a picture at the moment just to say what is. Yeah, the shot clock is indeed been reset to 3 seconds, and it will be a Riders ball. Clark will inbound. Well, look for the bullet pass through the middle. Space wasn't there. Pryor can set up the rocks again. Backs down Washington. Chara with the screen instead. Given to go. Pryor, 10 in the shot clock. Pass to Murray in the corner. Nowhere to go. Need to move fast here. Chara, alert to it. Well, nearly got out of jail there. 10 points the gap. What can Riders do? Football. It'll be a Leicester possession on the sideline.
16 seconds on the shot clock, sideline ball for the Riders.
Shot clock at 16. Clark. Over Chara. Once again, the Rocks, a disruptive influence in the paint. Certainly defensively, these two teams playing much better in the second half. Chara watched it roll round. Get 2 at the line though.
2 shots at the line for the Rocks. Rocks at the line for 2, 3 minutes and 5 seconds in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that first half, a combined 106 points. The second half, very much less. 40 points in total, 41 now since half time. Just enough of them going the Rocks' way to keep them ahead as Chara makes it 2 out of 2, 11 points in the game now. Clark took the foul as he went in. Certainly been very aggressive every time today that he's gone into the basket. The Rocks at halftime did say they didn't want him getting into the paint. As Greg Pryor picks up his 4th foul. Now he has to earn his points and makes the first. He's always been very good ever since he came into the BBL, getting to the foul line. 3 of 4 in this evening's endeavours. 10 points the gap, 3 to play. Clark now with 15 points. Pryor eventually got it to Chara, kick out to Murray, open 3. And off the back, it drops in. Murray, 2 of 4 from 3-point range today. Brandon Clark, 3 of 5. So threes. Traded there. Clark now with 16 points. A lifeline perhaps for Leicester Riders, but all to do as we approach the 2-minute mark. Pryor skips, kick out to the corner. Njai just off. Leicester breathe once more. Holder, the up and under gets it in. Ger Holder, 14 points. 8 points the gap, 2 to play. Pressure from Leicester. Kunis. Rocks with shooters in every position on the floor at the present time. Njai gets it to Chara, to Murray. Pryor, is it the dagger? Yes, it could be. Corner 3 from Greg Pryor. Off the glass from Williams, just off. Just off. In the mood here. One of exhalation. Maybe it's 1:20 to go. They need this. Leicester badly need this. Thompson short. And Njai fouled by Ger Holder as he came down there. And you've got to think that is probably it. The other game in the BBL today. 2:20 left in the 3rd quarter. Bristol Flyers with a 54 to 41 lead over Cheshire Phoenix. Pryor. Oh, it was all too easy, wasn't it? Nice finishing touch. Greg Pryor, all his 11 points in the second half. Into the last minute. And the Rocks fans, as you'd expect, as traditional here, ready to give their team an ovation this afternoon. Very well deserved. Holder short. Murray goes after the finishing touch at Chara, picks up a board. His 5th rebound. Here he comes on the charge, Kieran Chara. Oh, those old bones. That might hurt tomorrow morning. You can smile about it now. And here is what the Rocks fans might call as their human victory cigar. Gareth Murray sitting down, 6 points, 3 assists, a lot of effort. Murray Hendry checking in for 32 seconds and somehow always finds a way to score. We'll see what he can do. Chara, first one at the line, makes it. Second one doesn't go. Chara with 12 points, 6 rebounds. Clark from way out. Fouled as he went up. Now Alex Geddes will also check into the game. Kieran Achara sitting down. Another fine performance. Greg Pryor sits down. 11 points, 3 rebounds. And Kenny Carpenter with a game-high 23 points for Glasgow Rocks. As Clark makes the first. Lines up number 2. Number 2 goes in. Brandon Clark with 20 points. Double dribble is the call. The shot clock now are 17.5 seconds remaining. And Leicester set for a 4th defeat in 5 games. Not the kind of run that you expect from a Leicester team at this stage of the season. Clark driving inside. No matter really, the head-to-head will be taken by Glasgow Rocks, who take a 6th successive victory. They improve to 14-11 and climb into 4th place in the BBL Championship. An astonishing turnaround. Leicester led today by 20 points from Tim Williams. They stay third, an 18-8 record, and London Land's grip on the title ever more secure. The Glasgow Rocks beating Leicester Riders 89-77. Let's take a look at this week's fixtures in the BBL Championship. Wednesday night, Sheffield hosting Glasgow in a big game in that race for 4th place. Friday night, 5 games. Newcastle hosting Manchester, Bristol hosting London, Leicester bringing London City Walls to the Morningside Arena, Sheffield hosting Plymouth, and Worcester Wolves hosting Sheffield Sharks. And then next weekend, Saturday, the Royals hosting the Wolves, London hosting Newcastle, Cheshire hosting Leicester, and Glasgow back here next Sunday afternoon when Bristol Flyers are the visitors. But today, once again, it's been the Rocks that keep on rolling. Hope you've enjoyed it. From me, Mark Woods, and everyone here at the Emirates Arena, happy Mother's Day, and we'll see you soon.